Welcome to Thursday Lines. I'm your host, Scoot. I'm up and about. The Hawkers are in the finals. We are absolutely flying. I've done the ladder predictor. Flag Hawks. Hawk tour. It's going to be a big run into the finals. MG down in Melbourne. The spring sunshine is taking a hold of Melbourne. Just a shame that the Hawks are the only Melbourne team going any good.
Yeah, full week of shorts this week, Scooty. So everybody's got a bit of spring in the step down here. Yeah, it's we've all recovered from the Olympics. And yeah, your Hawkers, geez, we've ridden them from a long way off here, Scoot. But yeah, they only have to stand up from here. 2 easy wins. You got to tick them off. But yeah, I only 9 teams that can win now, Scoot, and I've got Freo missing. I think Carlton will probably throw this week and then try and get over St Kilda to cement their spot, and Freo lose to Giants, and that'll leave them, unfortunately, in 9th spot.
Poor old Carlton. If you're a Carlton supporter, bit of hidden merit in the Blues. They've got more injuries than you can poke a stick at. Nearly their full team is completely out. So they'll bounce back and they'll be okay next season. So don't drop your bundle just yet. It's pretty hard. As you saw, Hawthorn, we had our top 5 or 7 players missing for the first 6 or 7 rounds of the season. So things can change quickly. So be kind on your blue baggers, despite all those in the media probably calling for Voss's head. But Nick Tedeschi, I'm not sure where to start here. The bunker is in disarray. Latrell Mitchell caught in a bit of a compromising photo, perhaps at Dubbo, allegedly, etc. And then you've got a biting incident, and you're probably at that game. So, wow, not sure where to start, but the GGOA is falling apart.
Let's just start with Latrell. Let's come to Orange. Dubbo. Sounds like he's look, the Latrell story just gets better every day for those following on social media. One of the girls in the room has revealed another woman in the room to be the leaker, who happens to be the mother of the Sharks NRL halfback. So it's all happening in rugby league. It's more soap than days in our lives here. And the other one is threatened to quote unquote knock her block off next time she sees us. So I don't say this one isn't finished yet. So continue looking into it. But your boy Latrell, don't know if we'll see him again this year. He probably was going to be rested up anyway with the injury, but he'll probably take a small knock on this front. The NRL's very realistic with punishments for getting into the bags. I think about a 1 week suspension is about as much as it's has been. So look, we don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. I don't want to accuse anyone or anything, but the unnamed white substance tends to result in about a 1 week suspension and a bit of a fine. So there we go. The biting, yeah, it was a good chomp. He got him right on the nose. He probably did well to get away with this only 4 weeks. The biggest story coming out of that was Buzz Rothfield claiming that Stephen Crichton was the one at fault and should have been suspended, which was just all time. Hasn't been cited since. One of the greatest stains on the game. That comment, that was absolutely ridiculous to try and keep him off. He was $1 to go down. I think so. But yeah, copped it. I was right in front of the incident. Didn't see the incident, but saw Crichton fly up the lats with blood all over his face. And the rare thing in rugby league, they'll often ask if you'll make an official complaint, and players usually back down from it, but he stood by it. So a little bit disappointing to make an official complaint. It's not kind of the standard in rugby league, but he's done it. And there was another incident, bunker. Yeah, bunkers. Well, the bunker's been cast for a long time, but put a piece out this week. Full reform of the bunker on the refereeing system, which should hopefully ruffle a few feathers and cause a bit of change.
Outstanding. So all happening in rugby league world, and we've got a big clash. We've got maybe the grand final preview with Storm and Panthers. So interesting to see what happens there with some pretty good Panthers comeback last week. And your Canterbury Bulldogs, you blooded the young fella. What do you think? Is he a full convert or?
He was a full convert before that, but he's up and about and got to meet the previous hero, Matty Burton, after the game. So he was absolutely chuffed with that, and good to see the win. And I was surprised that probably more Bulldogs fans out than Dragons fans, which was great. The neighbouring rivalry there, but look, something you guys don't get in those rules. Just suburban football, there is nothing like it. An absolutely packed house. It was astonishing. You got the. You could smell the kebabs a mile away.
Yeah, look, feral as. So terrific stuff for the cottage industry of rugby league, which has shown its full true colours this week in everything as forementioned. MG, Sydney Swans, they've got a pulse. They're absolutely down and out. The live in-play prices must have been spectacular, but 27-point deficit. They've reignited their season. GWS have done it again. They were looking shaky early, overhauled Brisbane at home, which is not an easy thing to do. And already mentioned the Hawkers, which is good. I thought Geelong showed a fair bit of grit against the Dockers, which, a real choke for them, and a bit of a question mark back onto the Dockers. And old Essendon found a way again, but... not much joy there. But
there's carnage for the week, Scoot. 5 upsets, some enormous comebacks as well, and some classic chokes in there, Scoot, as well. Your 8th team, the Bombers, you would have loved them kicking 1 goal 9 in the last quarter when their season's on the line. You know, your good old mate Stringer couldn't hit the side of a bus 3 times, and not sharing the ball to Merritt. It was just. It was joyous to see. We know a few Essendon supporters. I got one coming in tomorrow night into the office, one of your old favourites, Nikki. She's kicked the bucket on the Bombers. She's not happy. She's fully league now from going forward. But, yeah, there was some cracking upsets. And, betting in the run for the bookies must be huge this year, Scoot. They must be absolutely loving it because some of these comebacks are extraordinary.
Well, Essendon have done it all season, really. They've botched the goal kicking completely, and I did get a funny one on Saturday night, and I came from a real dark, deep pain, and the comment was, "It's actually embarrassing to support them for the Bombers." So it's a real un-Essendon-like comment, and that's one of my best mates who barracks for the Bombers. So they're in a dark place.
Yeah, been plenty of excuses coming out from the coaches. I like, as the year goes on, especially towards the end, the excuses that. Scott comes up from Essendon, it's not as all bad as it looks. And, I mean, how do you defend this missing the 8? The Melbourne coach, looking on to next year already, I don't know. It's trying to save their job, saying that they're doing the right thing, they're on the right path, and there's so much hogwash going on. It's ridiculous.
Not much substance, not much grit from the Bombers. They're definitely made of fluff. Let's have a look at the AFL Premiership prices. And the betting suggests it's absolutely wide open here with Swans $4.20, Lions $4.40, GWS $6, $7.50 the Cats, $9 Port Adelaide, Western Bulldogs $12, $13 the Hawks, and you could probably forget about the rest of the teams there. My magical ladder predictor, which is severely biased, thinks that there's 3 chances: Swans, Lions, and Giants. And despite an easy run through, I couldn't make a case for many others, and I thought Hawks could probably sneak into a prelim, but they'd maybe get blown out of the water with a likely trip to Sydney or Brisbane as maybe a bridge too far. But given that you've backed Swans and Port Adelaide early in the season, MG, are you tempted to play anything now, or are you just going to keep your powder dry?
I think sides are sitting 1-2 at the moment. They can't be doing any more, so I'll just see if Port Adelaide can stitch up spot number 2, and if they can have a home final and win, then we'll maybe look to trade as the finals go on. But at the moment, I think the market's pretty much right. It's in ladder order of what they think the top 4 will be and who gets a home final. So, we'll just see what the next 2 weeks go, and we'll reassess in the buy. And I'm sure there'll be some betting going on in September in the Premiership market, Scoot.
If someone hasn't had a bet yet in the AFL Premiership market and they've just found the show, they can really understand how much of a pack of degenerates we are. And if they had $500 a free bet, who would you encourage them to back into that Premiership market right now if you had a free $500 swing, like taking everything out aside?
Yeah, I think,
what would you do?
The most solid is probably GWS in terms of the side.
Form.
But where they land in terms of getting top 4 and stuff like that's obviously crucial. So, if I was going to have one bet, I'm sticking fat with the Swans. I think finishing on top, home ground advantage. I think if you finish 1-2, then you've got you're the hardest to beat, and if you don't finish the top 4, then you can't win the premiership.
Okay. All right. Brownlow medal prices: Cripps, Dacos, Lockie Neal, the Bont. Cripper $3.60 at Top Sport. Dacos $4.80. Lockie Neal $6. Bontempelli a similar quote. Caleb Sarong $9.25. And then you got Zachy Merritt out at $9.75. I'd say that's unlikely. And then you got Treloar and Chad Warner and Tommy Green. Similar question here, MG. Free $500 bet now. If you had a swing right now, who would you take?
I think Merritt's massive unders. I can't have him anywhere near 9.75. I think he can't win it. He's just too far off. So he wouldn't be one. I think it's wide open, Scoot. I think the ones at the top of the market, I think it's going to be who's finished. I think there's enough there close with 2 rounds to go. No one really at the top. Sarong was the only one that looked like having votes. So, I'd probably still stick with Cripps because he's in front. But geez, yeah, Carlton don't look like they might pile this week and might only leave him one left. If I was going to have one stab, I'd probably go with Neal.
More likely to win the next 2 games.
Yep.
Keep it simple. Love that. NRL Premiership prices at Top Sport. Panthers, very stagnant this one, $2.50. Melbourne Storm, $4. It'll change slightly after tonight's match. And then you got the Roosters, $4.20. The Bulldogs have swanned into $13. And then you got the Sharks, $13. Manly, $17. Nick Tedeschi, I'm going to say he's a free $500 bet, and you're going to say just back Panthers, aren't you?
There's any appetite for risk. This year after the one that's going to collect fire from the Panthers and take $750 and move on. If what's the value? The value is Canberra at the moment, $13. Now, my thinking is this: if they can get the Storm in first week, they can absolutely beat the Storm in Melbourne and could have a home prelim. But maybe the better solution will be copying Penrith in the first week, which will happen if Panthers win tonight, and getting smashed by them, and then swap your side. So, and getting through that way. So, I don't mind. I think they're valued $13. They've got second best defense is the best indicator works out. Well, I'll go into my Melbourne rant soon, but their performance of the last 2 weeks, even with a win, has been so ill-disciplined that I couldn't look any less like the Storm if they tried. And the Roosters are considered 30-plus the last 2 weeks, so they've got kind of a bye. They might come back firing, but I think the Dogs are the value at $13.
Hard to see him, all things being equal, getting beaten by the Dolphins and the Warriors. So they're going to come home with 2 wins in the next.
I think they lose. I think they lose one in the next 2 weeks. I think they lose. Not because they're not a better team, but they've been up a long time. Got back-to-back road games because this Dolphins game has been played in Bundaberg. So trip to Queensland, trip to New Zealand, games they should be winning. I don't want the Dolphins this week. I think the Dolphins can get them this week. It depends how they're the better team. It depends what Sir Alex going to do to try to keep them up. But I'm looking a little tired, so that's a bit of a concern. To be honest, a loss before the finals wouldn't be the worst thing for the Bulldogs. So, but we'll see. But it's they've got all winnable games to come.
And they got Manly following that, and the Cowboys.
Well, Cowboys are absolutely weak to the Dogs, and Manly are going very well. Coach by Anthony Seabold, so hasn't got a great record when it comes to finals. So we'll be reasonably confident. I think they will be up for those last 2 games. So they're important.
All right. Hopefully we've graded you up enough for your premiership betting from here on in. But quick look at the rearview mirror for MG's Stings. And it was a bit of a chop-out last week. 3 wins, 3 losses, some topsy-turvy results. Still bet plenty, 16 units there, and still plus 18.94 units. So still having a good little year. And Toprope, tough weekend last one. 2 wins, 3 losses, 13 units bet for a 6-unit loss, and you're still humming around that 41-unit mark at 10%. So still no dramas there. Let's have a look at Friday night first, AFL, and it's Essendon versus Sydney. $1.57 the Swans away, $2.35 the Bombers, 9.5 the line, and 176.5. I couldn't back the Bombers with stolen money despite being home favourites, but Sydney look appetising for me, and they can get their season and confidence built right back up here with a nice little thumping of the Bombers. Just doesn't seem enough, 9.5.
Yeah, I hope you're right, Scoot, because I'm joining you here. Yeah, bit of support for the Bombers though. The market opened round 10. It's gone just back 1 point to 9. So yeah, can't understand why. But there's a few moves in the last couple of weeks that I haven't understand how they've backed some teams. It's gone array. So if they're going to back Essendon, then let us on Sydney for enough, I think. But yeah, I like Sydney. I think neither team's got great form coming in. Essendon have lost 4 out of 5. Sydney have lost 5 out of the last 7. But the big difference is Essendon's season's now over, and Sydney are looking for 1 out of their last 2 to stitch up top spot, and then they can reassess going into the finals. So they've got a dominant head-to-head record here, Scoot, 14-4 against the Bombers, so they do own them. And I just think, they smashed them in round 2 earlier this year by 30 points, and it was a shootout, 131-101. So 30-point win there. I just think with Essendon turning it up against the Gold Coast, season over, I just think they'll be down. It'll be hard to get up this week. And, Sydney flew home against Collingwood, so I just think the energy levels will be way different. Main stat I like here is Sydney at night, 10-2 on the year, Scoot. They just love this, the night as opposed to the days. And with the finals coming up, I hope that carries on. But, yeah, I agree with you. I think nine's a way to play on the Swans here. Looked an over total here, both solid over teams, but unfortunately the total or the market's come up too strong around the mid 170, so won't play there. But yeah, pretty keen Sydney at the -9.
Oh, there's the answer for the Swans. They're a night team. Slow out of the blocks. They like a sleep in and just back them at night. So you can back them all the way up until the prelim. And then sadly, the grand final's played at 2:30. So they're going to be asleep at the wheel for the first half of the match. So it could be a nice trading position coming up. Let's get into the roast of the Melbourne Storm, which is very unlike Tedeschi. But we're going to hear about it. $1.55 Panthers, $2.45 Storm. The line here is 3.5 to 4.5, 43.5 the total. It's chips in Penrith for you, and you're upset. The Storm have upset you, haven't they?
Well, how upset me by not covering last week, and what particularly upset me, and been kind of creeping into their game a lot over this season, has been just the complete lack of discipline that they play with. The Storm have been built on one thing on the bell, it's discipline. They roll to the middle, they take their chance, but they haven't thrown the ball around or shown some flair. They've definitely done that, but they usually do it in a justified situation. They would have blown 5 tries on the weekend by selfishness, by stupid kicks, by just having a total disregard to the opposition, not working to the middle, not working in support. I thought it was appalling. I've never seen Harry Grant have a worse game. The Pap throwing no-look cutout passes can get right in the seat. I absolutely love the Pap. That was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, I would say they're going backwards from where they were at the start of the year, not in the right direction. They're winning. They're going to finish top 2. Absolutely, like the favourites to be in the grand final. But I don't like the final to send. Like, if any coach can get him out, it's Craig Bellamy. It's where the game will have to. Because if they play with that kind of contempt for the ball, they're going to absolutely sweep tonight. Panthers missing a couple of key back rollers. No Martin Scott Sorensen out, but Penrith have won and covered 5 of the last 7. The last 4 wins against Melbourne, all by 18+. And this is a great spot for them. They were very lucky to get away with that game in Parramatta last week. Only the third time in the last 4 years they've conceded 30 more points. Next week they've covered all 3 of them. So covered 10-13 when favoured, owned by less than the double digits. The 24 and 15 spread, Penrith standing full stop. So yeah, all over the Panthers. So.
They're entitled to just beat up on the South Reserves team, though, aren't they? They're allowed to have a bit of a mid-year freshen up and treat them with as much respect as they deserve. Like, they're probably just prepping for having a week off mentally so they can fully steam into this week. Or you don't like the flirting with form? Is that what you're saying? I would
have believed that if I didn't see how serious Craig Bellamy was with it. So if this was like we're having a letdown, go and do what you want, whatever. Like that's fine. But Bellamy was beside himself, more beside himself than he usually is. So I hope he absolutely flogged the bejesus out of them this week because they deserved it. and hopefully get themselves back on track for the finals.
I'll be on Storm Plus, so might have an all-up bet on that night at Kittens that I still owe you for the Origin one that I got wrong. Collingwood Brisbane on Saturday afternoon at 4:35 is an interesting clash. $1.56 the Lions, Collingwood 2.36, 8.5 the line, 167.5 the total. MG, mathematically, can Collingwood make the finals?
A lot has to go their way. Yeah, not 100% ruled out, but yeah, I think they're...
Hawthorn would lose the next two, maybe?
Yeah, they got to play Brisbane and then Sydney. Is Brisbane and Sydney, I think, to finish? No. Brisbane and... Yeah, they got two tough teams. They can't make it. I just think they're shot. Too many injuries to key players. I think they got Pendlebury to their 400th last week. And, the week before, when we said there might be a letdown. Well, it didn't come until the last quarter when Sydney jumped out of the ground to beat them. But, yeah, I just think their run's come to an end, Scoot.
Brisbane get a prime opportunity just before the finals to test themselves out at the MCG here. They'll be fired up after their cough up last week, and they've still got the right form on the board. It's nothing serious getting beaten by, or it's nothing to shy at getting beaten by GWS, who are arguably the form team of the comp.
Yeah, I think from a Brisbane point of view, I think it was probably a good time of a loss to have. They should have won the game. The game should have been over at quarter time. They kicked 4 goals, 7 to a point. And if they'd kicked any kind of straight, they would have been 40 or 50, closer to 50 points up instead of 30, and the game would have been over. So they could easily be sitting here at 10 straight, and then the betting be, at least 20. So as you said, GWS in prime as well. But yeah, I think Brisbane have got too much going for them. They've still got home finals to play for, top 4. As you said, big test at the G. They'll want to make sure that they win this. Collingwood beat them early in the year, so I think that Brisbane have got a lot to play for. I just think Collingwood would have come off. The only thing that probably keeps Collingwood right in this game is it's obviously the MCG, and their day record's astonishing. They've won 6, haven't lost, and a draw from the day games this year. So, Brisbane's interstate record's good, 6-3-1. So hard to find a bet. I'd shade Brisbane if I was going to have one. The total, I'm going to have to hold fire because there is rain predicted on the Saturday. So we're just going to have to see if that whether that arrives or not. If we have a late play on the total, look out.
Outstanding. Let's have a look at Friday night, and it's Roosters versus Eels. Roosters very short here, head-to-head, $1.13, $6. Parramatta, but the line looks big here, 17.5, and the total, 52.5. Nick Tedeschi. Can Parramatta find a way to cover?
Well, Trent Barrett's 452 his last 4 seasons as coach, so they're unlikely to win it. But having said that, the line is very, very big, and I'll be having something small on the Eels here. They've covered their last 3. They pushed the Storm, pushed the Panthers, and went on Auckland and beat the Warriors. Come to 5 of their last 7 as an underdog of 12.5 or more. The Roosters, instead of 30 plus their last 2, which is not great. Off a bye, which helps, but covered just 1 of their last 7 when favored by 16 or more. Covered just 41% of the win. So not going to tell them to Parramatta completely shut the bed. It wouldn't surprise. And they can get beat by 50 here. But all things being equal, the way they've been playing, I'll be happy to have a plus 16.5 here.
Yeah, outstanding. Nick Tedeschi, some would describe me as your ball boy fluffer, but I think a little bit of a fluffing or a pump-up's entitled here. Season best try results, plus 10% pot winning, 41 units is nothing to sneeze at. Nick Tedeschi, you found one here, Victor Radley.
Absolutely love Victor this week. So he's moved to an edge 9 weeks back. This will be his 10th game playing on an edge. He scored 4 tries, which is, is okay for an edge back row. One every 2 and a bit. They're 16.5 point favourites here against an over team with a huge total. How he is the price he is utterly ridiculous. What is he just at sports? Scooty going at 425 or something?
Yeah, 425. Give him a little uppercut.
425. He's a dead set $2.50 chance. So unload on that one. That could be the best of the weekend.
Outstanding. A little bit of Ric Flair lair. And he does burst through on some of those soft edges. So I'm a sicko for that sort of stuff. So Victor will be on my side. Let's have a look at Port Adelaide versus Crows in the, what do they call it? The showdown, don't they?
Yep.
Over in Adelaide. $1.43 Port Adelaide, $2.75 the Crows, line 13.5 and 171.5. Wow. Crows, a big upset over the Western Bulldogs. It was a devastating blow for the doggies, and they'd love to derail Port Adelaide here. A bit of venom in this one.
Yeah, showdowns always spiteful, and all the pressure's off Adelaide, as you saw last week. So they've done this a couple of times over the last couple of years now. They've put together good little patches once they can't make the finals, and as you said, they won't be going lightly on the neighbour. I think this is a very important test for Port Adelaide. I think the market's right around the 2 goal mark. It's moved from open 11 to 13, so the support early's been for Port. Can't find an edge on the line. I think it's about right. It's definite danger game for Port, as you said. They have won 4 in a row, won 6 of their last 7, but Adelaide head-to-head have won their last 3 showdowns against Port. So whether they've got the psych over them or Port need a win. But, this is a big game for basically to get second spot for Port Adelaide and have home finals. So this will be like a final for both, I think. I think the edge here is the total, Scoot. I think there'll be rain forecast early, so don't worry about the forecast if you're just looking it up. I think it'll be all done and dusted. This is a night match. We've bet early the over 169.5's moved up a couple of points to 171. I think if the rain dissipates, mid-afternoon as it should dry out, I think this total will get closer to 175. 4 straight over games now at Adelaide Oval. Adelaide are a strong over team, 7 of their last 8. Now the pressure's off. I don't think they're going to be too keen on defence. So I think, I think there'll be plenty of points in this game as long as they kick straight. I think that's the play more than the side. But, I'm hoping Port get the job done and can hold on to that second spot.
Big rain forecast today and tomorrow, but I agree with you. By Saturday afternoon, should be smooth sailing there for the total players. But, keep tabs on wherever you get your weather from there, and that'll be a good indicator on how much you should unload on that total. But no tackles and points expected from you. Nick Tedeschi, Cowboys versus Raiders, Saturday afternoon up at Townsville. You gave him a bit of a spray early in the show, so the $1.48 might be a bit skinny here. Canberra Raiders $2.65, 6.5 the line. It's been nibbled into $1.80 at Top Sport the plus, so a bit of support there. And then 51.5 the total. Take it away.
Sorry, Spirit, I'm still reeling that you're asking for no tackles in an AFL game. I think you eat your wish. There's a hot tip. Got to be on Canberra here. Both teams were pretty poor last week. Cowboys, big favourites against the Broncos, could have really pushed for a top 4 spot and then completely busted it. Ross were absolutely embarrassed last week. It was an embarrassing performance. Canberra, they were really commanded for a while. Then Joe Tapine got sent to the sin bin. They could see the 3 big tries that turned into a blowout. Hugely notable stats here, though. Canberra, the last 4 years, they've conceded 40 plus 9 times. They've covered all 9s in the next week. They've covered 5 or 6 in a state with Washington. Ricky Stewart is a big kind of blustery, get together, they'll be out on the drink, blah, blah, blah. They'll be up for this. Cowboys covered just 2 of their last 12 at home. I reckon they are weak-gutted dogs. I reckon Canberra can go and spoil them. I'm all over the Raiders this week. Chips in Canberra.
Chips in. Do you think the 6.5 is going to budge? Is it going to get down to 5.5 or maybe 4.5?
Yeah, I think this oscillates quite a bit. I don't know. I'm not quite sure where it'll stop because the Cowboys are a team typically get a lot of money because they can look good when they're on top there. They're the classic flat-track bullies. But, I think this will, if I was ever about, I'd say this will settle at 5.5, not 6.5.
Outstanding stuff. Like that. Canberra Raiders and cheer a little weak-gutted dog meltdown from the Cowboys over there up in Townsville. West Coast Eagles versus Carlton. Who knew that this was going to be a clash worth talking about on Sunday afternoon? But as I said earlier in the preview, Carlton are nearly side away. They got so many injuries, and I'm surprised West Coast aren't clear favourites here. But $1.88 you pick, which is a sign of the betting times at the moment. In my heyday, it would have been $1.93 you pick, but here we are, $1.63.5 the total there. I'd say it'll be one-way traffic for the Eagles if I know anything about AFL MG.
Yeah, it's been a crazy betting game, Scoot. 17 around, I think it was actually 20 bet going into last week's before the action started when they bet a week prior. So, yeah, it's moved a long way back to Pick'em. We've actually backed both sides here, so trying to dig our way out of a hole. But yeah, once the Carlton injury starting to fill through, we just had to bail on the Carlton side and jump back on the West Coast side. It got down to about Pick'em. Most bookies have now got West Coast at least 1 point favourite. I just think when the modelers come over the top, when they the teams are announced and they put those in, they'll just realise how stark it is for Carlton. I just think it'll definitely, West Coast will definitely start favourite. I'm not sure how much, but I'm tipping it'll probably closer to a goal come. I just think Carlton will throw this game and try and save their chips, put them all into winning the last one to make finals, round 24 scoot. So, yeah, I'm happy to be on West Coast at this stage. Going for 3 in a row, even though they're a poor side, beating Kangaroos and Gold Coast, so nothing to hang your hat on there. But, yeah, Carlton have lost 5 of their last 6. They lose 6 players from the weekend. They've got some sore, tired bodies as a result of no interchange also, so running the legs, trip to Perth. There's not much positive side on the Carlton. I just think mentally they'll check out and get themselves ready for round 24 and try and create something in the finals when they get a few of the players back. But, yeah, free shot here for West Coast, and I think they'll get the job done at home.
As silly as it sounds, given their depleted bench, I thought they did okay to hang in there by 74 points. I was expecting 100-plus blowout given their soldiers or what was left of the park. Is Harry Mackay going to get up for Sunday's match, or is he Cactus?
He's already out.
Oh, my God. It's scary. I'll be locked in the cupboard, and this will be West Coast Eagles' last leg of multi-business for me. So whether we're going out for dinner next week or not, I'll be chips in West Coast, which is bloody frightening. It'll be like going chips in West Tigers, Nick Tedeschi, if you can understand that.
Well, I thought you were typically locked in the cupboard, so I'm not sure what the AFL can do with
it. No, they are absolutely shot, the poor old blue baggers. And hopefully you get a bit of value about them early in the season. Hopefully everyone's forgot about all these injuries. Might be the case. Sharks versus Knights is the final match on Sunday afternoon. It's $1.37 Cronulla at Top Sport, $3.10 Newcastle Knights, 8.5 the line here, 48.5 the total. Are you sensing danger game here, or Sharkies too strong?
I think the Sharkies too strong. Wouldn't have put my life on it. They've been pretty up and down, aren't they? But I like the Braden, Trindle and Ronaldo Mortallo have been there in the extended squad. I expect Trindle will play, and probably Mortallo as well. Not very impressive against the West Tigers, so I'm not really sure what you can take from that. Notable teams off a defensive shutout last 4 years, cover 64% the next week. Teams off a win of 40 or more, 80 and 10 against the spread the last 4 years. So good spots for the Sharks here. They are very good at home in their attacks, firing 11 and 5 against the spread at home, scoring 30. No knock on the Knights. They've got 6 out of 19 afternoon games as it is. So numbers probably maybe a little bit short. I think this might start double digits, but not by much. So small bit the Sharkies.
Early in the season, you suggested that they were a futures play, the Sharks. There's been sort of no real Shark talk since Nico's Origin nightmare. Is that ticket confetti now? There's just no news around the Sharks.
No. I was all over the Sharks based on the easiness of their draw, so I was loaded up on them in the futures guide, top 8, top 4. I don't have a premiership ticket on them. Zero interest in for the title. I don't think they were ever good enough to challenge for the better teams. So I thought they were the beneficiaries of an easy draw. It's kind of playing out that way. So, those who've got the top 8 but can collect now. Those who are at the top 4 are kind of wanting them to dig a bit deeper and fight hard. But everything's still alive there. But I never really considered them a total chance. I don't think they have emerged as a total chance.
Outstanding. Oh, correction. You're right, and I'm wrong again. Next week we'll have a wrap-up of Nick Tedeschi's Olympic bets. He's had a fair bit on his plate, and he's had 96 open bets in all sorts of sports. So we haven't...
open bets beat total sleep for having a bet on that one. Open bets beat total sleep over the Olympics. So well played.
Yeah. And he's just got to keep the spreadsheet up to date is another challenge. So he's got to keep betting away on his usual game, which is rugby league. So if the spreadsheets update, you don't get any more rugby league bets. So I'd rather just keep betting and get the results tidied up a week later. So be interesting to see how that washes out, but well done anyway. 16 days times 6 bets is almost tonning up, so not sure how you've got through it, but hat tip for getting through the workload anyway. If you want the GGOA set, it's $33 a week, and then AFL Stings for MG stuff is $25 a week, and MG updates through the round as things progress, and he likes sniping a week or so's prices out in front. So if you like a little bit of grubbery, it's definitely the package for you. I think that's a wrap from me too, and hopefully we've tipped you in a couple of winners for the weekend, and good luck on the weekend, boys. I'm sure it's going to be fascinating as it is starting to shape out the top section of the ladder in the NRL, but the AFL, they've got a delicious 6 weeks of AFL left, and should be a grandstand finish.
Yeah, plenty of finals still coming up, although it looks like the 8's almost decided now, but yeah, we'll hopefully kick your Hawks over to another massive win this week over the hapless Tigers.
All right, we'll see you next week. Enough of my rabbiting on, and good luck on the putt. See you guys.